Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Thomas Breitinger mein Name von Maier, Vidorno, Altios. Ich bin hier Vice President Development Dach. Das bedeutet im Endeffekt verantwortlich für die deutschsprachigen Lande oder vielmehr unsere Kunden aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum bei der Internationalisierung zu unterstützen. Wir haben das jetzt 2 Jahrzehnte gemacht, nur für Indien und seit unserer Fusion mit Altios International machen wir das auch noch in 23 weiteren Ländern mit eigenen Altios-Tochtergesellschaften. Und dazu kommen dann noch viele andere Märkte mehr, nochmal 50, wo wir das dann mit Partnern organisieren, wie beispielsweise Malaysia und so weiter. Jetzt als Indienberater war ich selbst etwas überrascht, dass unsere Kunden, die wir schon nach Indien begleitet haben, tatsächlich noch die ein oder andere Baustelle auch in Märkten in der direkten Nachbarschaft haben, also Italien, Frankreich, Polen, Spanien. Und ja, deswegen freut es mich sehr, dass wir heute ein Event haben zu Italien und Frankreich und freue mich sehr, dass Sie heute hier sind. Bevor wir beginnen, noch ein paar technische Informationen. Na, jetzt ist die Technik ist jetzt natürlich ist jetzt hier. So, pardon dafür. Sie sind alle stumm geschaltet und können aber Ihre Fragen rechts außen, da finden Sie so ein Bedienfeld, da können Sie Ihre Fragen in den Chat schreiben. Und am Ende der Veranstaltung werden wir uns dann Mühe geben, die zu beantworten. Falls Sie etwas individuellere Fragen haben oder einfach was Sie hier nicht in dem Webinar besprechen möchten, dann bitte, würde uns sehr freuen, schicken Sie uns die per E-Mail oder kontaktieren Sie uns. Wir reden jederzeit sehr gerne mit Ihnen. Hier haben wir ganz grob die Agenda und beginnen jetzt als nächstes mit Italien und unserem Geschäftsführer dort, Mirko, der uns eine Präsentation über sagen wir mal, das Wachstum in Italien, nicht unbedingt nur Markteinstieg halten wird. Mirko, please switch on your camera and micro and the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Thomas. Sorry, but I don't speak German. My name is Mirko Mottino. I'm the managing director of Altios in Italy, and I will talk you the next 10 minutes about Italy and the Italian market. We can see in the first slide. Please, thank you, Thomas. I think that after the crisis, we have to restart from the basics. Italy is the second industrial country and the first economy in Europe. We have about 60 million of inhabitants with a very good purchasing power. We have an industrial system where 90% of companies is a very small or they have a medium size. This is a very topic in Italy. It's a market very different because in another country in Europe we have many big companies, but in Italy the market is very atomized. Another figure is very important is that 8% of enterprise are still owned by family, because in another country in Europe the rate is about 20-25%. For Italy, Germany is the first trade partner, and together we have about 4,000 binational companies. It is very important because our industrial systems is very integrated. In the next slide, we can see some information about the recovery plan. First of all, we have a new Prime Minister, Mr. Mario Draghi, and we have a very important recovery plan because we have more than 200 milliards of investments in the next 3-4 years in a different sector. digitalization, innovation, pharmaceutical, chemistry, and so on. And we have also several reforms, very important reform about the public administration, taxation, justice, and so on. The GDP for this year, for a very difficult 2020, will be about 6%. It will be a very, very good rate of growth. In the next slide, we can start talk about the strategy. Italy, for the history, is a very open market, and you can see in this slide a classic mistake that normally we find when we meet some foreign company. We can work with distributor, we can work with agent. It's a very good solution to start the business, to start. To understand the market, for research the first customer, and so on. But if in the market, in Italian market, we have a good potential, we have to provide a local presence, because this is very, very important. Because otherwise the turnover will be the same. We can have different solutions to be present in the market, like solution like to payroll hosting or representative office, or the classical solution like to establishment of a subsidiary in Italy. We can see after this different solution, but it's very important for you. If you have some or different customer in Italy with a distributor or some agents, it's very important to provide somebody in Italy in the future, because for the Italian customer or Italian partner, it's very important to meet or to have somebody near in the same region or in the same macro region. In the next slide, we talk about the key factor in Italy, the culture. The culture is very important. Italy in Europe is a young country. We have a national culture, but we have also many differences between the region. To do business in Piedmont, in Torino, it's very, very different about the Emilia-Romagna or to do business in the Venice. It's very important to study the market, because, for example, about the competitors, normally we have always some national competitor, but we have always some local competitor inside the region. It's very important to choose the right people. It's better to wait 1, 2, 3 months more and choose the right people, because this is the difference that you can have in Italy. This is okay, very, very important. It's very important also to have a long-term project. It's not possible to develop the Italian market in 2, 3, or 4 months. Normally, we have a project of 1 year or 2 years to have some good results, but it's not possible to develop the market in 2 or 3 months. We can find some part in 3 or 4 months, but after we have to start in collaboration eventually with the partner, but we have to do a long-term project of minimum one year. Setting up and go local. It's very important to to provide a local presence. I repeat, but this is very, very, very important. In the next slide, we can talk about the different solutions. In this slide, we can find the payroll hosting solution. It's the very light solution where you can have somebody in Italy. In this case, Altios or another company can hire directly the people in Italy. We need about 2 days for set up the Italian contract. The only limit with this solution is that we can provide a contract with maximum 24 months for 2 years. This is the only limit that we have, but it's a very light solution, a good solution for to have somebody in Italy to test the market directly, and after the 2 years, if the result is good, you can provide a local presence with another solution that we can see in the next slide. The second one is the setup of an office representative. In this case, we need about 2 months to set up the office and to open the Italian fiscal code for our customer. With this fiscal code, the customer can set up an Italian contract and hire directly some people in Italy. In this case, you can see the business case of a French company present in Italy with some agents, but they need to improve the agents' networks and accelerate its growth. In this case, this company, after the creation of officer representative, recruited 2 people. This is a very easy solution. It's a not expensive solution because the only cost that you have is the salary and the taxes on the salary of the people that you have in Italy. You don't have accounting. It's a very, very easy solution. In this case, you can hire the people with indefinite contract terms, and the only limit is that you can hire 2 or 3 people maximum, and you can use this office for 4 or 5 years maximum, because after, if the market is very good for you and the turnover increase, it would be better to transform the office representative in a subsidiary. In the last slide, we can see a classical approach. We can see this case, French company that works normally by tender, and Italy for works with public administration by tender. It's very important to have a local presence. This French company specializing in speed detection system decided to create a subsidiary. The timing for the setup is about 2 months to create the entity, and after we can start to open the bank account, and to open the bank account we need about 1 month. All the processes is in total about 3 months, and after you have a normally subsidiary in Italy, and in this case obviously you have the accounting, and you can hire all the people that you want. For the moment, I finish my presentation, and we can see after for the question. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Please, thank you very much, Mirko. And the stage is all yours, François Lamotte, our Managing Director from France.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm François Lamotte, Managing Director of France, and I will try to put forward in the 10 minutes how to and why choose France and how to invest in France for a German mid-cap company. We are, and Mirko said, Italia and France are two countries we are close. We are not brother but cousin, and you'll see similar arguments for French investment. Let's have a look first on overview of key figures. And France in Europe is a key country like Germany is, because maybe the first thing we have to enhance here is that the fact that France and Germany are the two engines of Europe, and Germany is the first client of France with 95 billion euro, and France is the first supplier of Germany with 70 billion. So we've got trade currents of relationship, which is something we should develop. And France has strong as well asset as is a fixed world GDP, and second in Europe as well, with nearly 3,000 billion euro turnover. And one thing I'd like to enhance as well in this presentation, of course, is the economic assets. As you may know, our demography is very dynamic. It's a strategical hub for Europe and a perfect location for expanding within Europe, because Paris is 1 hour 30 minutes from Brussels and London, 2 hours from Berlin, Rome, Budapest, 2 hours 50, 2 hours to 30 minutes from Madrid and Lisbon. So it's a strategical European hub. Second thing is, and we'll talk about that regarding the dynamic sectors, there's a strong investment plan for French government regarding innovation and research and development, with the stimulus plan, and especially, for instance, in artificial intelligence, which the national program would enhance. So if you've got an innovative process, we could help you in France. And the last thing I would like to put forward is the attractivity of France, because on the FDI point of view, foreign direct investment in France, because France continues to attract those investment in those strategic functions, manufacturing plants, decision center, subsidiary, and R&D, and it remains the leading host country for foreign investment for the last 10 years. And as you see on the right-hand side of the slide, Germany is the second investing country in France, just behind the States. And this is something really important, because we can help you set up, and we're going to see some business case in a minute, but we can help you to set up a subsidiary or even to have an acquisition in France, because foreign investment is something that France develop a lot, and in conjunction with private and public sector, because you can invest in France and profit from subsidies and help from state government, from regions. The three main regions that are attractive for foreign investors in France are, first of all, Île-de-France, which is Paris and the suburbs, the big Île-de-France. The second one is a region that Mirko knows well. It's Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, nearby Lyon, which is the border of Italy and Germany as well. So the second region is Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, and the third region is Lille, the north of France, at the border of Belgium and Netherlands. And that's why Altios France has 3 offices in Paris, in Nantes, in Lyon as well, and maybe we'll open soon in Lille to accompany those companies who wants to invest in those 3 regions. And as Mirko said as well, the France remain the leading host country for foreign subsidiaries in Europe, and nearly the same amount as Germany. So we've got similar particularity here. 28,000 foreign subsidiaries each year setting up in France. And as well, France has, because France is very often compared to a very bureaucratic country and administrative country oriented, But we did in France for the last 6 years a big dematerialized plan and modernization plan of the public sector. And now on the cross-border trade is simplified and dematerialized with custom procedures, and the World Bank survey show that the French, it's easier to export into cross-border. So you may ask the question, which activities and which sectors are dynamic in France? In fact, there are a lot of sectors that you know. Everybody knows about 10 of them. Everybody knows about food industry, of course, and fashion, because it's a French main sector that everybody knows. It's true. It's still true. But I would like to enhance the industry in France, which is very dynamic and focused on automotive as well. Like Germany, we've got a lot of similarities on automotive. We are two industrial countries based on the automotive small mid-cap company. There's a big plan for light electric vehicle, and the investment plan as well for autonomous and hybrid vehicle is pushing hard in France. I know that in Germany it's the same with hydrogen. France is really pushing hard on green energy as well, and this is something, if you're specialized in green energy, and we're going to talk about Ferroduo in a moment. A lot of multinationals have chosen France. We've got a high power potential with wind, mill, marine renewable, and solar power portfolio. So this is something which is a very active sector. Healthcare as well, especially in the region of Lyon. There's a Rhône Valley is well known for healthcare company. So this is and this next slide we will show you some more specific sectors that you could invest in. As I said before, robotics and the investment plan in robotics and the artificial intelligence is really strong in France, and we're pushing hard. We rank #1 in Europe for startups specialized in service of industrial robots, and we do a lot of, and if you've got an innovative and robotic company or artificial intelligence company or IoT, you will be hosted in France with an ecosystem, shared ecosystem of public and private sectors for the research, and you will profit from public investment in a research center for your company. There's a lot of joint venture, public and private, PPP, partenariat public-privé in France. Of course, aerospace is well known, as you all know, that Airbus with 3 innovation hub in the region of Toulouse. I would like to insist on financial services as well, because after the Brexit, the financial services are going up, especially in cybersecurity in France, and the leading up is beginning with the leading hub for collective asset manager. So this is important to know. And the last 2 sectors I would like to put forward is logistics as well. It's a multimodal gateway. We've got a lot of logistic company, of course, because it's at the heart of Europe. Roads, train, waterways, harbors. And the last one linked to healthcare, it's chemical industry. This is a very important sector in France. All the global world leader operate in France, from Europe, DuPont, Maier, ChemChina, BASF, and Dow Chemical that you know are based by their headquarters in France. And we have the #1 industrial plant for chemical industry, which is really strong. So this is about overview of sector, and maybe to give you some advice or some strategy of how opening the market in the next slide. We could, at Altios, like Mirko said, we could help you in your French approach to get prepared. And how to get prepared for the French market is, first of all, to validate the business potential and develop for you the market understanding. We can determine the size of your market segments. We can evaluate your value proposition of your offer, your 4 Ps, your product, your place, your positioning, your price positioning as well, and understand, as Mirko said, how to approach the market. We got 3 different ways to approach the market and define the clear strategy that match with your objective to enter the market. We can provide you with commercial expansion with search of a commercial partner and assess the right commercial partner for your business model, either B2B or B2C, of course. The second solution is opening a subsidiary in France. It's, as I said, very attractive for the FDI, foreign direct investment. So we can provide you with subsidiaries and subsidiary management of the subsidiary, accountancy, HR solutions, payroll hosting, taxation. It's all done in our 3 offices. And last but not least, the next strategy is directly go to an acquisition. We've got for the last 2 years developed a corporate finance practice, which is booming because a lot of our companies, and we've got some German clients wanting to buy a French company. So local acquisition is something to consider as well. And we can help you as well, as Mirko said, to be compliant with regulation. Of course, we've got European regulation in France because we're part of the EC, but we've got specific national regulation in terms of environmental compatibility and fiscal and administrative as well. So maybe we could just put forward 3 business cases to give you more flesh on the bone and more practical solution. The first one is the Italian supplier of gas detection combustion. It's a very famous company in Italy, and we had the chance to help them to identify their partner and select their commercial partner in France. That's the first solution I mentioned. So we arranged meeting with them, with French distributor, international solution, and we challenge a potential partner in their interest in developing the market regarding the strategy of this gas detection supplier. And then we are in position to give them a short list of 15 ideal partners, and then the company could choose the best one, and then the company makes with the short list the best choice. We organize business trip as well between France and Italy to meet those potential partners, and then with them and then the post-mission strategy report, we can help them to define the best distribution network to set up in the relation with this partner. So this is the first mission of prospection, partner identification. The second one would be another company. It's a Danish company in the next slide. It's not an Italian or German company. It's a Danish BIM construction management software company who wanted to, it was 4 years ago now, wanted to set up a subsidiary in France to better serve their current clients and develop the market they didn't know. So we just set up the subsidiary and manage everything for them, accountancy, taxation, payroll hosting, recruitment as well. And we created the ongoing accounting management for the subsidiary. And this is something which is quite active and quite light. They just add at the beginning 1 manager for France, and now through the active growth, we've got 8 people in this company on board, and we went for them sales after sales and IT developers as well on the payroll management, and about 15 to 20% increase in turnover a year. So that's a light but efficient way to set up in France. And last example I wanted to put forward is the one about acquisition and the corporate finance. This is a case which has begun very recently, so we don't have delivery results soon, but at the moment it's a German sliding door manufacturer who's keen to assess the French markets for garage door, not only but mainly, and then find a local potential acquisition. So our mission in that case, it's a light and very operational mission which lasts about 4 months. And you've got the description of the mission. We define the target selection with shared criteria with you and valuation metrics for selection. And then we do through research and identification for you through a long list and a medium list and short list and presentation of the targets for the company. You can then meet and assess the potential company. And then if there is some interest, we can go through the letter of intent, LOE, and make the due diligence, the negotiation, the valuation, and then go into the process of acquisition, and then, if necessary, as well, assist you in post-acquisition integration, because the most important is the 2 years after the acquisition. So this is something in France as well, but as in Italy, we can provide you with. And I remain, that's the end of the presentation. I remain at your disposal for any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we would now hand over to the interview with our customer, Caroline Gutierrez from Ferroduo. Please, Caroline, switch on the camera and the micro. There you are. Wonderful. Okay, I leave the stage to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Thomas.
We can start. Thank you, Caroline. Yes. Ferroduo is a German group. You work in Italy, you work in France with a different approach. We start with Italy. Could you please explain to us which approach you have in Italy, and maybe some advice, some suggestion for the foreign company that wants to develop Italian market?
Okay, maybe first of all, I will introduce a little Ferroduo in order to make understand what were our targets and what are our targets. So Ferroduo is a German family company created by the grandfather of the current owner, Mr. Alexander Kerman. And it started out working with the steel industry based in Duisburg, and then they grew and as trading company, and finally they decided to start its own production, always in Duisburg. Ferroduo is a waste managing company, and it is certified like it is. We take and dispose of byproducts and waste products from different industries such as steel, chemical, and electricity production plants. So we treat them in our plant, and we make new products, or we treat the byproducts and then we sell out. At the end, we supply these high quality byproducts, or in any case, new products. Our customers are different and all over the world. Different markets such as water waste treatment, animal feed, agriculture, and steel, chemical industry. So we recycle the material that this steel industry give to us, and then, for example, we also offer services to them. And well, then there are so different different markets that we target and that we supply, but also we offer to them. So I mean, it's very different. So it's we have different markets all over the world. Therefore, we have different subsidiaries. So, for example, there is a Ferroduo Italy based in Milan, but also based in Tuscany, and I will come after to explain what is the project there. We have subsidiary in USA. We have subsidiary in China, we have subsidiary in India, we have subsidiary in UK, in Spain, in France. So we are all over the world as our clients are. In Italy, this is the project, and this is why we allied with Altios in order to grow up our market. In Italy, we are developing a plant in the region of Tuscany and near to Grosseto, near to Piombino. So we are installing our granulation plant, our dryer plant, to make fertilizer products based on calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate. And the target is developing this market in Italy, first of all, because that's the market to target due to the fact that the plant is there. Then in Germany, then in France, then in Spain. Why? Because they are the fourth leading producer in the Western Europe. So that's the introduction of Ferroduo. And yeah, the developing is our target right now for this project.
Okay, thank you, Caroline, for this presentation. And just maybe we can make a focus on your specific sector, because Ferroduo is a circular economy engaged company, and yes, which is a booming sector and very dynamic. And why France and Italy, or Italy and France, are important in Europe for you, and how did you choose to develop yourself in those two countries?
So, well, as I said, in the fertilizer production, so in the fertilizer sector, we know that in the Western Europe, the four leading producers are, well, France as first, Germany, then Spain and Italy. So, strategically positioned, our plant is based in Tuscany, so our first market was Italy. And with Altios, we did a great job. I mean, we had so much leads and so much potential opportunities. And also then we target France, because in Germany we already know a little, because well, our business, the core business is based there. So we know the German companies for agriculture. So, and France, well, it was a totally not known market. So and for the magnesium sulfate, we know that France is the biggest market, and we certainly realized that during all the prospection with Altios France. So yes, I think that was the strategy. That was the strategy why France and why Italy. The target market, both for, also for position for France, because well, Italy and France, they are near, so it's very simple to make, for example, containers or vessel of product from Piombino to south of France.
I have another question for you, Caroline. You choose to be present directly in different markets. You are present in Italy with a subsidiary, you are present in France, and so on. This for you, for Ferroduo, is an important strategy to be present with a subsidiary, for to speak the same language of the country. It's important for your customer to know that you are present in the market, that you close to him.
Yes, it's very important. We saw that, well, for both cases, for Italy and France. For Italy, for example, I will just make a little go back in the introduction. So Ferroduo Italy, for example, has been created, first of all, as customer service for the Italian market, but for the cement industry. So we, well, that's also a reason to have a local subsidiary in that specified country. And so yes, I mean the local presence, it's very important, and I think for fertilizer we realize more, because the Italian are well, they want to speak with an Italian guy, so with an Italian speaker. And they want to know that we are there, because the flexibility also for the transport is important for them. So warehouses and etc. are very important for them, because at least they know that if there are something, we are there, we are present. Same for France. Well, I think France is more accentuated because France they wanted to deal with a French company. We saw that also for the cement industry, and we saw that also for during one of the conference in France for the animal feed. So, and we saw that of course with Altios case. So yes, it's very important, the presence, and it's very important to have someone focused in that project or in that specified clients. So yeah.
Do you have your commercial network, or you work also with distributor or agents?
We have our commercial network, but we also sorry, 1 minute, Mirko. I'm so sorry, one moment.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe in the meantime,
coffee break. Coffee break.
So in the meantime,
I'm there. I'm sorry,
okay.
but I had a problem with the chart because it was I don't know what happened, but okay. About the what was the question?
If you work also with a distributor or agent, or you have your commercial network?
Yes. We have our commercial network, well, in Germany, because that's the country, the mother country. For Italy also, but we do also with the distribution, with distributors, and also for France. Actually, the distribution is very easy to handle because you know, when you are not well known in the market and you want to develop in very faster way, you just go to a distributor, Italian or French, or in any case a local distributor of that country. You make a deal and then they perform. So it's a very easy way. Then there is the very complicated way, because you need time, you need patience, you need very hard work in the background. It's to go directly in the market. So knowing the different clients, the biggest, for example, in France there are the cooperatives, which are a complicated, how can I say, phase in the agriculture market, because the cooperatives are very close, they're very private, but it needs some work on behind. So that in the background, and that's how Altios are helping us in order to deal with these cooperatives that are very reserved, and then make them know our products and make like a cooperation in collaboration in a very bigger overview, a bigger way. So so we are in both cases. I mean, a distribution directly in the local market, and also cooperative, for example, in France. Yeah. So I mean, for the moment we are more in the distribution, but we want to go in directly in the market.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we have a question here from the audience. I think this goes maybe more a little bit to you, Caroline. Do you what is, so to say, the for you the main difference of doing business in France and in Italy in comparison, or aren't there any?
The comparison between Italy and the France market?
Yes. I mean, for example, Is it really like this that you have to meet in Italy 10 times to have a cup of coffee before you talk about business, and in Germany it's completely the other way around? Yeah, you don't get a coffee until there is business. It's, more or less, yeah.
Snell. No coffee, nothing, no either croissant, nothing like that. Yes, it's true. It's true. It's different culture. It's totally different culture. I see that because I'm living now in Germany, so it's quite different. Yes, Italy. Well, Italy is a beautiful country, beautiful people. And they are very open-minded. I mean, not open-minded in the sense that they are very open, okay? And the more you go to the south, more the people are open. And yes, to make deal, you need to create this relationship that it's important, because the customer gets to know you. You have to share something. You have to spend time with this customer in order that then this customer open the door to of his industry. I mean his market.
Yeah.
So yes, so there is a big difference. And in France, you needed to speak French, and that's the important thing. And in France, I think it depends about the position. I mean, in the south, I know that they are quite more open. I lived in Saint-Étienne when I was in that university, so I could see that. In Paris, let's say in the north of France, it's more a little close, and it's more reserved. Maybe Mr. Lamotte can agree. I mean, he's French, so. But yes, also there you have to spend time. You have to spend time to create the relationship. In Germany, I know that it's different.
We always love to have you around for a coffee. Yeah. So yeah. The next question goes to François. It is basically right now we have a lot in the newspapers here that companies face a lot of issues. They have shortages in the supply chain, but since very long time also, let's say, shortage in human resources, and now also, let's say, the energy cost will be more and more a problem. Now France is going into a different direction. You have these nuclear power plants standing around pretty much everywhere, and now you will further invest. Do you now expect more investments when it comes to setting up manufacturing units in France? And do you already see that happening, or is this foreign direct investment more only for sales and service hubs, like small hubs?
Yeah, it's a good question, because it's a mega trend in France, energy and renewable energy. And as I said in the presentation, 50% of the implementation on FDI in France, 50% are industrial plants. Why that? Not only in energy, but why that? Because of first of all, the location of France and the facility to set up a new plant for every reason that Caroline mentioned, supply chain, commercial network. And the second reason is the possibility to be helped at two levels. One by the state subsidies and help, and the region ones. French got 20 regions, now 15 regions, because we reduce as a lender. But we've got 50 big regions, and they are all keen to welcome companies and give them some help in taxation, financement, facilities to set up in their region. And we can, as Altios, try to set up a file of engineering the setup in specific region. And I mentioned the 3 regions which are the most dynamic in terms of hosting industrial plants. So yes, indeed, if you got an industrial project, France is quite the right location to manage that, and we can help you. And your second question was about the impact of energy shortage and all the supply chain. In France, yes, indeed, we've got a 50%. The goal of France is 50% only in nuclear power, which was in 2030. Today is more than 65. So we have to decrease the part of nuclear power and replace the 15% by renewable energy. And we've got a lot of projects of renewable energy in France, and a new public investment plan for smaller nuclear plants and smaller nuclear units, because we've got 30% of our nuclear plant are going to be hauled and to be replaced within the next 10 years. So in the field of energy, France will, and it's the main difference with Germany, will stick on the nuclear project, but 50% only within 10 years.
Mirko, when it comes to Italy, you just mentioned that there are big differences already between the region Brescia around Milano and so on, and then when it goes to the right to the region around Venice and so on, and then in the north there are even Germans, German colonies. Sorry for that, but a lot of German speakers there. So how to best set up sales then in Italy? Is it better to have 1-2 people central and then traveling around, or have different partners for the different regions? How is this organized?
But I think that the best logistic solution, for example, Milan is in the north of Italy, but you can go to Torino if 1 hour of car, and you can to go Bologna in 1 hour of train or car, and the same for to go Venice. The Lombardy, the Milan is the good place if you want to set up a little organization, commercial organization. After, it depends also from the sector. If you work in the automotive sector, the best place maybe is Torino, because Torino we have the Fiat and all the supplier of Fiat. It depends also from the sector, but you say that the 90% of the company is based on the north, in the north of Italy, Turin, Venice, and Bologna. In this area, you have 90% of the potential, the Italian potential, and inside this area, you can set up and organize your office or your industrial plant or logistic site.
Okay. So right now, I don't have any further questions here, which are let's say good for this webinar. I want to thank you, especially Caroline. Thank you very much. Thank you, Francois. Thank you, Mirko, for the participation. And I hope that everyone liked it. You can have the presentation. Just drop an email. This webinar is also recorded, so just let us know, and let's keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.